Tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
They say we're young and we don't know. Won't find out until we grow.
Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to the AFTERBUZZ TV Vampire Diaries After Show, Season 7, Episode 10, Hell is Other People. I'm Tiona Hobson. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at the Tiona Hobson. And joining me, I've got Jordana Morfin.
Hey guys, I'm Jordana Morfin. You can follow me on Twitter at Jordana_Morfin.
And in case you guys are wondering why we're starting with this song, it is the song that's repeatedly on Bill Murray's alarm clock in Groundhog's Day, and I cannot remember. Thank you, Steven. I cannot remember which Twitter fan told us to open with this song, but thank you for the suggestion. Clearly, you spoke and we listened. Oh, and my phone is talking. I'm trying to get the live feed up on my phone for you guys so we can follow along with what the live chat's saying. Thank you for bearing with us. It's been a long break. Welcome back. I haven't seen you in months.
I know. It's been, what, like 2 months?
Yeah, something like that.
And then we're missing two of our friends.
Yeah, we're missing Katie and Sam. They're both out sick. And yeah, we're going to be on a new time, Sundays at 8 p.m. So that will be our normal time for Vampire Diaries now, since the show is airing on Fridays. So let's get into our Friday night's episode. So weird. I just want to hear your thoughts on the episode.
Okay, well, I know we were talking about it a little before. I feel like just coming back to the show, it was not, I don't know, I was not expecting it. It was a little bit boring for me, I'm not going to lie. And obviously so repetitive that I was just a little, okay, I know what's happening. I mean, the whole episode was the same thing over and over again. So, honestly, it wasn't my favorite, but, you know.
So Julie Plec, in case anyone doesn't know, because I just kind of found out, on Entertainment Weekly, she's writing a blog or a diary every week after the episodes air. She's going on there and giving her 2 cents on the Vampire Diaries. And I was reading it today, and she was talking about how Friday night's episode was a concept episode, which for those who didn't know what that means, like me. It's in a serialized show. It's something that strays from the usual formula of the way the show is written. So it's something that they've been wanting to do with the show for a long time, and they just never had the opportunity to do it because the whole episode is from Damon's perspective, and you're in his mind, and it's kind of like reading a novel because you're in that character's head the whole time, and you don't know what anyone else is thinking. So for me, I agree. It felt very repetitive because for the first episode back, I was just expecting a lot more action, a lot more storyline development to happen. And especially since all during the first half of the season, we've been seeing these flash forwards to 3 years. So I'm like, I'm waiting to hear, who's hunting them and see that stuff. So it felt like this kind of slowed the momentum that they had down a little bit.
Hopefully the next episode will
hopefully it'll pick up. So let's talk a little bit about Damon's hell in 1863. He's stuck in the Civil War. Not a good time to be
it was,
to be at.
Yeah, that was, when I was watching it, I felt so bad. I don't know, just because it's Damon, and then obviously seeing like Lily in there, automatically I was like, oh my god, this is definitely going to be like hell for him, like complete hell for him. But I don't know. I just, like I said before, I couldn't really.
It was hard to get into, but one of the things I liked about the repetitiveness is we see that he gets a letter from Stefan and he wants to go home, his commander tells him, okay, if you go get these deserters,
union
from this
deserters.
farmhouse, then you can go on a 2-week leave to see your brother. And he gets there, and you think that, these little ladies are at home baking pies. And, I mean, they're kind of weird because they don't ever speak.
Yeah.
And that's just creepy when people don't talk. But then, everything just goes wrong, and everyone in the room ends up dead except for Damon and his partner, buddy.
Yeah.
Whose
Henry,
name...
right?
Henry,
yeah.
yes. Henry, who that was something else Julie Plec was talking about. Because the whole episode, I was like, he looks so familiar. Season 1... Blood Brothers.
Yeah.
He is stuck in the tomb with Damon in like the very beginning of the show. And he makes a reference to how he was in the Civil War with Damon, so they brought him back for that purpose, to kind of harp on that storyline that they had, which just amazes me that the writers remember every little minute detail and stuff that they did over the years. So anyway, Henry and Damon are the only survivors, and then Damon goes on, and then somehow Julian's he wakes up because Bonnie...
Yeah, because the first time he woke up, I was like, oh, cool.
Cool.
Okay, they got him out. And then when it happened again, I was like, oh, no. Like, I don't know. I just, from then on, I was like, oh, no, it's going to happen again. So I think the second time is when we saw Julian, right? Julian took Stefan's body?
Julian kidnapped Stefan's body from upstairs while Bonnie was waking up Damon, because they all felt that Damon, it had already been 3 months. The longer you're stuck in this stone, the more crazy you are. And let's be honest, Damon's the one who needs to come out first.
Right.
If we want to see him still a good guy and not all super messed up. And during that time, Julian takes Stefan's body. They track him down to
it was like
the bar.
Yeah, the bar restaurant.
A bar. And it's there that he lights Stefan's body on fire.
You know what I was thinking? You know how every time he goes back, it starts the exact same way? Was that the only time that was the only time where it went like to Bonnie and then to Julian, right? Because the other times after that, it was like the exact same thing over and over
Yeah,
again.
he wasn't making it past the point of the farmhouse family getting slaughtered.
Okay.
And, I just want to take a moment to talk about in this scene, because once again, poor Bon Bon, she has been exerting herself. And I know that this is just in Damon's head right now and it's not real, but it still just goes to show her character and how Damon's like, I don't care if you're tired, if you've been exhausted, you need to do a spell right now. You need to do a locator spell. You need to get my brother out of this hell. And you have Matt and Caroline, who's Caroline's baby bump.
Yeah. Oh my God. She's so cute.
She looks so cute.
She does look really cute.
Yeah. I was like, I mean, it's only been 3 months, right? But clearly.
She looks adorable.
Yeah, she looks adorable. So, you have them trying to protect Bonnie and being like, no, Damon, she needs to rest. She needs to break. Let us go try and find the body. And Damon's like, no. Get my brother out of here. So it's just one of those things where Bonnie and Damon have been through so much. And every time you think that they're like back on that, okay, they're going to be great friends, he still has that little bit of him that's only thinking of himself and not really about like her safety and her health.
I'm hoping that he'll realize, because it was also in like his mind, that even in his mind he's doing these things to Bonnie, like, obviously thinking of himself before thinking of her health and her well-being, that hopefully when he does come back, he's like, he's like, oh my God, like, I can't I feel bad that I've been doing this, but who knows if he'll even realize it. So
yeah, exactly, hopefully he will.
Yeah,
but I did read a little tease that Bonnie and Damon are gonna have like a huge fight at some point in the next coming episodes, or somehow their relationship is going to change. There's going to be like the tension builds and it just kind of explodes. I don't know if that's good or bad, but I guess we'll all find out because we'll all be watching. So let's talk about this farmhouse. So they've got the 2 deserters who are hiding in the basement, and then you've got Grandma, the daughter, and like the mom baking pies. What I loved about them was in every scenario where Damon thinks, okay, get them outside, get this away from them. And then when the grandma came in with the knife and was just like slitting Henry's throat and stuff, I was like, oh, it kind of reminded me of some weird, like, vampire movie.
Yeah.
But I also just loved it so much. It's like, yeah, they're not speaking.
And it's all three of them, too. Like, I think that was the last one, or when the girl had the gun, like, the youngest girl had, like, the gun pointing at Damon. I was like, who are these ladies? I don't know. They looked like a family from, like, a scary movie.
Yeah. And it's probably mostly because they just stood there and they did not speak. And they just had those dead looks in their eyes where they looked like zombies.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I really liked that family.
Yeah, they were interesting. I also, something that I kind of forgot a little bit, but when he sees Lily in the farmhouse the first time, I remember she said something to him about she was telling Damon, like, he had to feel, right? He had to feel pain, that it was important for him.
So the biggest thing was that this is something that Damon brushed under the rug.
Right.
He never talked about again. He
just left
it there, and he never dealt with what he actually did because he's still human at this point.
Right.
He's not even a vampire. So I think what Lily's saying is, in order for you to, come to peace in this place, you have to accept what you've done wrong in your life and feel the pain and feel the hurt. And we all know that Damon is just a big old emotional wall.
And that's why they can't
off.
Get him out either, right?
Yeah.
Because he wasn't allowing it.
He wasn't accepting it, which, I mean, we do see, which it was kind of hard to decipher which parts of this, of the Bonnie stuff was real life and what was fake life. But we do see that Damon is out of his. They were able to get him out right away because Stefan.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Stefan is just more accepting of his wrongdoings and his life choices, basically. Right. And he's like, until Damon accepts it, you're not going to be able to get him out of there. So who knows how long he's going to be in there.
Right.
Basically.
Yeah.
But he does finally accept it. And basically what all of Damon's problems boil down to are mommy issues.
Yes, so much mommy
drama. So much mama drama.
It was sad. I'm not going to lie, I did tear up when I saw
did
that.
Too. It was
feeling a little...
It was very nice because, first of all, I love seeing Mama Salvatore because I mean, she's gone, but clearly not forgotten. And he did treat her so wrong, and she did mess up a lot because he made some very good points. Even after she became a vampire, she could have come back and taken her kids away from the abusive life that they were living in, and she didn't do that. She still wasn't strong enough. Instead, she started her own family, and then they saved her from the hell world, and then she still chose that family over him and Stefan. Right. And it's when you hear him finally break down and say that stuff to her, I'm like, gosh, why couldn't you just said this when she was alive? You guys would have been able to heal together and bond together in a way that, she understands where your pain is coming from. So then she wouldn't be trying to hurt you, just like you're trying to hurt her.
Well, I liked the part where Stefan and Damon were in the basement, and he's the one who, like, made him say it when he had, like, I like that scene when he had the blood, like, coming down his face. But because Damon was like, no, I was coming, I was coming back for you, or saying something about him. And he's like, no, obviously it's not. And that's when he was like, yeah, it was my mom. So when we saw, like, the scene after that when she was, I don't even know what was on top of her. Something was on her, like a cart or something. Yeah. And yeah, I could tell that he just felt so much anger and pain. But I mean, I think it's more, he's always loved her. It's just, I think he was upset at her not being there, not him not loving her, and her not doing what he considers a motherly duty. Mothers, are supposed to love their children unconditionally and protect them from the harms of the world and be strong enough to protect your child. And he just feels that she failed him in that way. He said it. I think he's like, I lost you 3 times. So yeah, that was really sad.
That was you're gonna make me cry all over again. Thanks.
No, yeah, I got a little emotional during that part. But yeah, I'm glad. See, this is the thing that I did like about this episode was I'm glad that did happen, because now I feel like he has, like, some kind of closure, and I feel like he's probably going to feel better about the whole situation. But at the same time, who knows, because when we saw at the end, he, like, wanted to go back.
Yeah.
So,
well, okay, let's talk about that part because
I'm still confused.
This was the part of the episode where I actually was like, whoa, what? Like, I actually had a reaction to that was excitement. So he finally wakes up because he's finally accepted it. He still thinks that he is dreaming because he's seen this scenario so many times before. So he's like, no, I have to go back. I didn't get to finish telling her, so he thinks I have to start the day over again and I know how to do it right. So he snaps his brother's neck, stabs Caroline in what appears to be her heart with the stake. And then chokes out Bonnie, and slams her head against a wall and leaves a bloody mess as she collapses. And then he's like, why isn't not starting over? Why isn't it starting over? And he's freaking out. And for me, that was the first time I was like, oh my, that's what I thought this episode was going to be like. So I'm like, oh my gosh, what's happening? I know Stefan will wake up because he just got his neck snapped. Caroline has a child inside her and a stake inside her also, which is in the vicinity of where one would say a heart is. Yep. Bonnie is human, so... Also,
she's under so much right now, too. Yeah. So weak. So who knows?
So I'm like, the fate of everyone is kind of up in the air right now.
What happened to Matt?
Matt wasn't there.
Oh, okay, he wasn't there, okay.
No, I think he was out patrolling or something. We'll just say he was patrolling.
Of course, there he goes. Matt? No, okay, so... I don't know. When that scene happened, I was the same reaction. I freaked out, but then I was like, I hope he is dreaming because if Caroline and Bonnie, it literally looked like they were gone, dead. Who knows? I'm hoping
that he'll snap out of it and take the stake out of Caroline before it's too late, and then maybe with Bonnie, maybe she'll just have a really bad concussion.
Maybe. Let's hope so.
But, I mean, I just have to say, Ian Somerhalder was phenomenal in this whole episode. Just from the same article, reading it, I didn't realize it, but I did. He's in every single scene in this episode.
Yeah, this was his episode, definitely was.
And he definitely shined. He did a great job, especially in that last scene where he is panicked and almost like a PTSD kind of thing going on and just frantic and not sure what's real and what's not. He did a great job carrying the episode.
Was he okay? So is he actually? Well, I guess he is awake now. But was he gone for 3 months, or was that what he said? Because Bonnie said that in his dream. So would it be longer?
I'm assuming that it has been
3 months.
Okay. Just because he woke up in that same scene.
I wonder how my next question is I wonder how he's gonna react now, because they were saying the longer he's in there, the crazier he's probably gonna become. So
which is kind of apparent when he wakes up and doesn't realize that he's in the real world right now. But also, this episode, sorry, I'm still reading off all my little notes from her article. It was such a good, there's so much information in this article that it's so great. The director of this episode is Deb Chow, who this was their first time meeting her. She had never directed an episode of the Vampire Diaries. She just, her name got pulled, and this happened to be the episode. So this is what she walked into. And, I mean, they film in Atlanta, so they have a lot of woods and stuff, and out there they got real life Civil War and actors to come out to help them stage things, and they came out in their full costumes and everything, because there's a lot of fighting going on in the background that some of it you see and some of it you don't. It's sad that stuff gets cut out and everything, but I mean, they did a great job, and a lot of production went into this episode, and I kind of missed a lot of our characters though. I wish we could have found a way to involve them more, but I'll say I hope that this all pays off.
That's what I'm hoping too. I think that's what I'm saying, because it's centered so much on him and his mommy problems that I'm hoping that it'll just kind of, this episode, it's just going to help us understand how he's going to deal or not deal with things later on.
Oh, and that was something else that Stefan said to him in the flashback right before he had his breakdown. It was about Elena.
Yeah.
And what would Elena do? And why would you only be a good person when she's here and not when, she's not around? Basically, you're gonna have to spend the rest of your life in here and live with what you did and never see her again. And I was just like, wow, pulling the Elena card.
Yeah. Well, it's so true though.
Yeah.
It is true because he acts completely different, when he's with her and when he's not.
And I think I kind of, personally, I believe that I give him a pass as a fan where I'm like, oh, but Elena makes him such a great person. And so he is a good person, but he's not when she's not around. And so if you're only one way when a person is around you, that means that that's not the true you.
Right.
So it kind of was a reality check for me too as a fan, just watching. I was like, wait, why do I give him a pass that he's a good person because of Elena, but when Elena's not there, he makes the wrong choices every time. He's got to live up to a better standard of life and live his life how Elena would want him, even though she's not
Elena
around.
Yeah, exactly.
WWED.
And I feel now, after she's gone, he's just completely turned even more selfish, because she's not there and wants her back. I feel like it's made his personality even more, I don't know, a little bit more angry.
Yeah, I mean, even with the Bonnie situation.
Yeah.
Elena would have, actually, I can't say that.
I totally would.
It was like, Elena would have let her take a break. I don't actually know that because everyone kind of abuses Bonnie's powers. But if Caroline and Matt were both telling her, hey, you need to step back, I think Elena would have been like, Bonnie, you need to take a break too.
Yeah. Oh, now I'm missing her. Bring her back.
Bring her back. Did I miss anything that you wanted to talk about? I mean, the whole episode repeated itself like 15 times, so I don't think we need to talk about all that.
Not really. I'm just really looking forward to seeing what is going to happen this next week because the way the way it ended was my favorite part of the whole freaking thing. But I'm just really curious as to what is going to happen with him. Or, maybe it was still a dream and we don't even know that. Who knows?
And maybe it was just taking a little longer to reset. Who knows? Who knows? So let's get into some predictions then.
All right.
Your AFTERBUZZ TV predictions.
Thank you, Stephen. I love the sound effects tonight.
Your AFTERBUZZ TV predictions.
Okay. Fancy.
All of them. All the feels. Okay. Prediction time. What do you think's happening?
This is hard. I'm thinking, oh my God, I have a feeling he's going to wake up. He's going to realize that it's obviously real, but I have no idea how he's going to save them. How are you going to, can Caroline drink? No,
he could give Bonnie some blood.
Yeah, I'm honestly really curious about Caroline. I'm scared for her.
Yeah, especially because she has a child. In her, or children, I should say.
Right,
she has twins in her.
Did you see what was going to happen next week? I don't remember seeing. How they usually
really.
I don't. Okay,
I think my recording cut off.
Yeah, I think mine did too. I'm hoping that he saves them, but I don't know. I'm a little worried about that. I do feel like he's gonna start to realize and feel at peace with himself about his mom. At least that's what I'm hoping.
Yeah. But I think that, sorry, I've just said a lot of words and nothing at the same time. Kyle Kent predicts that Katie will cry next episode, which, Katie cries every episode.
Yeah.
I predict that these flashbacks with him in the Civil War aren't over because we never really saw a conclusion with a happy ending for the Farmhouse family.
You're right. Oh my God, you're totally right.
So I feel like something else is happening in that area. Those people were just too creepy and too distinct for me to move on so quickly. Maybe everyone else is over it, but I was like, you can't set this up and not give me a happy ending.
Because we don't know what.
Because I don't know what happened still. Or maybe he'll get out of this hell world and finally tell people and accept that he wasn't a hero.
So, because this did happen to him, did he actually kill everyone? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know which version of the story is true.
Was the grandma actually there with the knife? I'm really curious as to what him and what really happened.
Yeah, and then I still want to know what happens to like this whole fast forward 3 years. I need to know
I need
why
to-
Caroline and Rick are together, why Stefan is not with Caroline.
What about Valerie?
Like, what about Valerie? What's happening? These are the questions that I want answered, and I'm sure everyone else does too.
Yeah, I'm hoping next week it's a little different and we do get a little bit more answers because this one was just a little confusing for me.
Yeah,
a little bit.
It was very confusing.
Yeah.
So, love the idea,
Yeah.
guys, but not a huge fan of. This shouldn't have been coming back from a big break. It could have been in the middle of the season
Right.
somewhere, but for coming back, it just kind of started off with a weird momentum and theme going.
Yeah, agreed.
We'll just say that. Where can everyone find you to talk to you all week long?
Yeah, you guys can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at Jordana_Morfin. Where can we find you?
You can find me at the Tiona Hobson, and make sure you check out our shows Sundays at 8 p.m. We will be back to our regular schedule. And make sure you give shout outs to Sam and Katie. They both wanted to be here. Unfortunately, they couldn't, but they love you guys, and we will talk to you next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.